All right, here we are again in the lot, as you can see, and it's much drier. But the trade-off is it's really cold. Unfortunately, it's like 2 degrees Celsius or something like that. So, yeah, it's kind of cold, but that's okay. That's okay. We practice nonetheless. Or at least try to. Yeah, here we are in the lot. As you can see, we got the Grom. I brought my tripods, but I'm not sure if I wanna set it up, just because there is a bit of wind. You can't really tell here, but you can sort of see how strong the wind is over there, and it's not ideal because if it blows over my tripod, it might break my phone, so I don't want that. So I think we're gonna leave it be for today. We're gonna hope for a day that isn't so windy, and we'll come out and try again with for a side view. Like over here is not too bad because I think the wind is blowing that way, so the building's blocking it. But I don't know if I want to chance it, because I could go back this way, right? I think I could. Yeah. You know what this place reminds me of, though? I was really just thinking about it as I was like sitting right here. I was like, it sort of reminds me of the FNAF building from the movie. That's exactly what it reminds me of. I just thought that was a little funny. Can't wait for the new movie, FNAF 2. Anyways, that's besides the point. I think we'll set up the tripod here, and then we'll do some back and forth this way like we were before. Hopefully this should go well. All right, we got the tripod set up. Did my best to place it in an area where it wouldn't be like totally prone to falling over. All right, here we go. Okay. That was terrible. To get my movement in. I noticed, it might be hard to hear me with the wind. One thing I noticed when I was practicing at the other spot was I was making the mistake of just not dumping my clutch finger. I don't know why. Also, I'm messing up my movement. That's what's happening here. Oh my god, it got. think I'm doing a little more minuscule like movement. like the way that sounded when it came down. What was that? I was leaning too right and I couldn't correct it. I don't know. It just felt like I was kind of locked in that position. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Also, I noticed when I was making it like, hold on, the wind. When I was making a big problem about my bars turning right, I realized that didn't matter. Like if I got it up and then my bars were like, I was holding my bars right, it didn't matter because that's a usable position. Up there. What I am trying to go for is a bit of longevity. What the fuck? Fucking clutch finger dragged again. It sounds like I can hear this. I don't know if there's like not enough oil in it or what. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to check that when I get home, but like it sounds like I can hear the piston like hitting the top, maybe. I don't know if it's that sound, but it's the same sound it makes when it like clunks and then it like cuts out. I don't know. I think I did want to try that knee knocker. You hear it? It's like I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's first gear. It's like the first time I'm noticing that sound. Maybe it's because it's cold. It should be well warm now though. That was straight. That was straight into balance. Like that was like boom, straight into balance point, and then it just floated. Let's go. That was so smooth. Just like the other one, going right into balance point and holding. I dropped back a little past balance point. I had to hit the brake. Practice no, I can't. At least not. I mean, I can. I should. I feel like my leg's gonna get caught though. What's going on with my foot brake? Whoa, whoa, whoa. What the fuck was that? Bro. They didn't want to slip. It sounded like bad tire, like sliding sideways, you know? Make sure my foot brake isn't loose again. I just need to really slam into it if I want that slide. Ugh. Okay. Because I was trying to practice, like, or trying to do the sort of like break loose, like U-turn thing. I don't know. I think I need a higher PSI in my tire though. Maybe. Either that or I'm just not doing it right. Better to try when it's wet. Well, I guess I should be holding the front brake, huh? Nope. I think I dropped the front brake. Nope. Maybe like holding it. Like that. I don't know. I'll have to see the process for it first before I actually do it, but yeah, let's see if I can't get there. Okay, I felt it doesn't sound right when I do it on this PSI. I don't know what, or maybe it's just this pavement or what, I don't know. I know my PSI is low, but not that low. It may have drained over there. Over the season though, just kind of, see, it just doesn't sound like a, you know what I mean, like tire. Okay, let me not do too much, because I don't want to do it and then go for a wheelie and then have brake fade and then boom, hit 12 and I just can't come back. That might be something to do when it's warmer, I think. I think we could try a knee knocker though, at the very least. If it's, I guess the way I have my right foot, that just doesn't feel right. Like it feels like my foot is far from the brake. Let me see. Like I should be able to feel it well, you know? I'll So I am doing it a little spooked, just because of how, I don't know, I didn't see like pulling my bars, but it's something we'll have to practice. And obviously practice being, you know, like now. You know what? I think my bars are a little low, I'll be honest, because they are for a smaller bike. Just do it like baby steps, like we did when we first started wheeling. Little baby wheelies and work our way up. Because, yeah, this is a lot. Gosh, I'm feeling a lot of weight on my left hand mostly. That could just be my weight distribution being bad, but I don't know, we'll have to see. Did he just go for a stander? Like, no, I think I'd be better to like put my foot on the back peg. Maybe that'd be easier. For this peg? I don't know. Some people said it like that. Some people do literally just on the other peg by the 12 bar. Some people say they found knee knockers easier to do than sit downs. And I'll say that's probably because I think just learning one before the other, it sort of feels like that. See me now, like doing sit downs before knee knockers feel weird and they're scary, right? But just in general, wheelies as a whole before you start doing them are scary. Like, I do remember the feeling of going and coming up and then like being scared of it, like coming to balance point and then like dropping and stuff like that. Like it coming up is scary at first, you know, but now I can sort of bring it up while sitting down easier. Kind of a chaser. I think I was like just before balance point. Oh shit, I think I just ran over a worm. No! No, sir! Why is there worms in the lot? Oh no, he's dried out. Okay, never mind. I don't even know if that's a worm. That might be one of those baby things. It again? I don't know, man. Maybe it's easier to try knee knocker in second. You think? Because it'll come up easier in first, but it'll give me more of a chance to sort of try a technique, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I let it down way too hard. Way too hard. Let's go for a knee knocker again. Try and keep my weight off my wrists. Like, so I'm not like leaning on my wrist. It's sort of the same thing like when you're riding, I think. You shouldn't be putting all your weight on your wrists. You should be squeezing the tank with your thighs. In this case, I want to be having most of my weight on my left leg. Like I said, we'll do it just like baby wheelies and work our way up like normal. You know, because we don't want to be going too far too quick, you know, sort of thing. I'll say trying to hold my head in this position hurts though, my neck. And I will say also, I don't know if it's just the foot peg, but like it feels like my foot is so far off the foot brake. When I come up, it like sort of floats, if you will, and I don't want to drag it either, so ooh, that was the highest I've done so far. I know it's so windy, my head still hurts, my left hand still hurts a bit from that, because even still trying to like shift my weight down this way to the left leg, it still kind of gets to the wrist, so it is what it is. Oh, I keep cutting it, what the heck? That's the second time I'm supposed to power it out. That was kind of a real chase. I tried to bring it back. I'm still wondering the technique, because I don't know, maybe it's the same technique. I'm gonna put it in second and try and get it up in second. I know people say it's easier to keep it up in second, but it's harder to get it up in second. Sort of thing. And remember, my gear ratio is 14 in the front and 40 in the back. So you'd think that it'd be easier, right? I think I'm bumping instead of trying to weight shift. So I really need to get the weight off that front wheel. I can barely get it up, which sounds crazy, but like in both contexts, like I can't. At least I don't get the technique of doing it. Like I feel like I watch people do it so effortlessly, and it could just be a technique thing as usual, right? And I feel like I'm dropping the clutch as I should be, right? Yeah, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but it just doesn't want to go. Ah, okay. Oh my gosh, I can't. I don't know what I'm like, listen, if somebody knows what I should be doing, like I feel like I'm yanking it with all I can, or at least what feels all I can, you know, but it just doesn't want to go. know, man. I don't know. Because obviously I'd like to be able to get it up in second. I don't have to. If I can get it up in first, and I could get that longevity and the control of like having it up in just first, right? And then I could just do a shift to second. That's also an option. I don't know. I think from what I know, most of the technique is just using like a better, like a different stance. Some, you know, knee knocker or like C standard, you know, or not C standard, fucking using like back peg. Even just going from like seat to stand, I think. I think what would really do is, you know, something like a knee knocker, which does bring your weight closer to the back and off the front. But yeah, for now, we'll practice everything in first, get it smooth, get it controlled. And then we can move on to other stuff. I'm getting a better understanding of how to adjust it. Like, I'm not just using my hips like I was in the last session. I am also making use of my arms, trying to like maneuver the bike, you know, like that. When it does go one way, you know, I'll try and pull it or push it the other way, which seems to be helping. I think I'm doing it right. That time I got way back. I got past balance point. I actually had to use the foot brake proper. That was crazy. Oh, one other thing I needed to fix or work on, not fix, is my foot down wheelies. Now, I feel like I've talked about this before. I haven't done much practice for it just because I haven't felt the need, or I just never, I didn't want to, or I guess I haven't gotten around to it, I should say. Is my foot down wheelies from stock. Since I started doing them, what I'll say is, since I started wheeling in general, I would do foot down. That's how I started. But my foot was not down. It was only down at the start. And at the start, it'd be on the ground, and then I'd come up, and my foot would just be floating, which is not what you're supposed to be doing. At least from what I've learned on YouTube. Sorry, since I switched oils, I can barely ever get neutral at a stop. Anyways, point is, since I started learning and starting doing foot down, my foot's always just been kind of floating off the ground, and I can never like reach the ground or like feel the ground. You know, it's a Grom, it's short, it's small, and I'm not short by any means. It's just the technique I guess I was using. I was sitting in the middle of the seat, and it would like just kind of lift my foot off the ground every time it would come up. So after all that practice of pretty much just, I guess, having one foot up and the other one just floating like this. I tried troubleshooting it, and I was like, well, I think I gotta sit more to the side, right? You know, sit more over here so I can actually reach the ground, right? And the first time I did that, I went for it, I felt my foot on the ground and my brain was like, oh shit. And then by the time by the time I really realized what was happening, I was already in 12 and I looped the bike, and that's where I got my first accidental scrape. So that was the first time I looped it. First and only time. It probably won't be the last, obviously, but I just need to work on sitting more to the side, like sort of the side and back, and then like trying to manage, you know, just sitting on it sort of half saddle, and then, you know, like having one cheek on, and then just kind of going for the usual foot down stuff. Because again, I haven't really practiced having my foot on the ground and like sliding with it, right? So yeah, so we're gonna try it now. Oh my god. See, now I can sort of feel my foot dragging on the ground, which is good. I need to get used to that, like sitting like this and get used to that feeling and having that control. See, that time I could feel my foot dragging on the ground, but it just felt like it was dangling, like I didn't have any blood flow to it, you know, sort of thing. Oh my gosh. And I need to stretch for this because I could feel the joint. I could feel the joint going. Oh, this is a weird movement. What the heck, dude? Oh my gosh. I want to be able to do that so I can do, you know, from stop, slow speed wheelies in a controlled manner, like in, say, a small parking area, and I can, you know, do circles from that and stuff. Things like that. But what it feels like is, it feels like every time it comes up, my leg is getting caught on my passenger pegs, or at least it feels like they're in the way, which can't be so. You know, it feels like my foot's getting caught on this peg, or at least like it's in the way, you know? Probably the smoothest one I've had so far, but only my toes were on the ground, so I don't know about that one. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. Just to try and sit a little more. That one didn't feel too bad. See, that time it felt like my leg got caught. we got up there and it almost stalled. Oh yeah, I don't have the tools for to adjust my idle. I was gonna adjust my idle so it doesn't stall when I get up there in those slow speed ones, because that's happened before where I've done it and I've got up there too far and the engine speed went too slow and it stalled, and I was like, oh shit. Because you can adjust the idle easily on here, you just need the right tools. And I could very well get an idle adjuster, but that costs money and I don't have money, so it's okay. We'll figure out how to adjust it later. For now, it'll just be like clutch work, because you can do it, you can get up there no problem with a regular idle. And so long as you do like work on some clutch work while you're up there, like, you know, just kind of going through the bite point and stuff like that. It's kind of like when you first started learning, but now you're on one wheel, you know what I mean? And then you just, yeah, it's kind of like one big thing. I tried going the other way. Ooh, look, you can see the glasses inside. Okay, well, that's something to work on, but I don't know if I could really get off to the side any more than I already am, you know what I mean? I've already got one cheek on. Do you hear that? That's what I was talking about, that thunk sound. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways. I tried to keep it smooth. I tried to keep it up and like smooth, but I couldn't do smooth. Well, I did, but then it was like the smooth that I did was not enough. Okay, anyways, here we are. I think I'm done for today. A little out of breath. I think we're done for today. We're gonna leave here. We worked on a couple different things today. We did some control in our slow speed rolling wheelies, working on just keeping it smooth. We tried to work on some knee knockers. That was interesting. Again, that's going to be like starting almost from scratch, but we're gonna have to go little by little like we did when we first started wheeling, and we're gonna have to go from like baby wheelies and make our way up to proper wheelies. But that's just gonna take some practice. I will say, and it probably doesn't really matter, but it makes a little bit of a difference. I mentioned it. My bars are smaller. They're meant for a smaller bike. I bought them, and I believe the guy said they came off of like a KX50 or something, which is a much smaller bike. It's a kid's bike, pretty much, like it's a mini version of this, like, if you will, right? So they're meant for a smaller bike, right? But I needed something that was stronger and like wider grip and straighter than the stock bars. So here we are with the Pro Taper SE 7/8 Carmichael. Yeah. Anyways, that's that. And then we also practiced, or tried to practice, our U-turn slide, which didn't necessarily pan out, and I'm not sure if it's just a PSI thing, because it can't necessarily be. It could just be a power thing. Maybe it's because the ground is cold. I mean, my tire should be warm enough, but I've got low PSI in the tire, obviously, because I'm practicing wheelies, right? And I say it's like, I don't know what necessarily I may have been doing wrong, because I've seen, you know, Brian 636 does it, and he's always pretty much always got low PSI, right? So that's why I was like, maybe I could do it, or at least try to. But it could just be a low PSI and a combination of like low power on the ground, so I may need a higher PSI in the back. Other than that, I think, oh, we also practiced from stop with the foot down, trying to actually keep our foot on the ground when doing from stop wheelies, and that went pretty well. We kept our foot on the ground most of the time, so that was good. It's definitely something to keep on practicing, but for now I think my main focus is on the just control aspect and longevity of just the wheelie in general, like the slow speed, rolling from first up, controlling it into that balance point and past, and then just keeping it up, and then also working on controlling the direction of it too. And then I think after all that, we'll continue to work on the knee knockers, and then we'll also work on trying to get second gear, whether it's from the knee knocker or it's from just shifting into second. So anyways, I think we're gonna get out of here. Later on, I'm gonna check my oil, because I know that after I did the oil change, it had some issues with shifting, as you saw. It happens from first to second, and then like sometimes at a stop I can't get neutral. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I have Rotella T6 in there. I think it's 10W40 or 5W, I don't remember, but it's something like that. I'll have to check. Either way, I'm gonna check that later. I appreciate y'all for hanging out, and I'm done.